late, but at the end, they had two opportunities. One, Doncic alone at three, the other at the free throw line, and not able to get it done.
They give Dallas credit. They fought. They could have given up, played well there that last 4 minutes, but just unable to execute down the stretch. And, of course, those free throws, L.A. gets the win.
All right, speaking of looking L.A. while they're in Dallas, one, 6 straight games, 30-plus or more. The other, a jacket ready for Hollywood, 3D with Kawhi. Watch.
Kawhi, you got off to a slow start tonight, 3 of 14 in the first half. What went through your mind in the second half to take over this game?
We was winning the basketball game by 10 or 11 points at the time. So I just kept playing, trusting my teammates, kept my mind on the defensive end.
And speaking of that defensive end, as the Mavs were making that run, I saw you being more of a sort of effort trying to slow down Luka.
Yeah, they did a great job in the first 3 quarters. When the coach called my number, I got to guard him the best I can. He's a hell of a player.
Do you like what you see so far with this Clipper team, what you're trying to do to go to the next level?
Yeah, man, we keep building. We're trying to build, winning habits, and I think we're doing that. We got to just keep moving.
And speaking of keep moving, when you get to your spot down the stretch, you're unstoppable when you get to the paint.
Yeah, I got to try to get to my spots, my sweet spots, so the team can come double me, and then I get my teammates wide open shots.
Well, what can you say other than twinning indeed? Well, look, 2 stars, and it's about duos now, right? The Lakers with 2, the Clippers with 2, but everybody's kind of had one because of health. Porzingis back tonight, big shots late, but Doncic stars and Kawhi more than enough to don to me the greatest of honors on this evening. Moments of celebration presented by Charlon. Champagne of the players. Play, Kawhi.
Oh, this definitely has to be the Charlon play moment of the game, particularly on the dunk and the slap in the face. I mean, that is definitely a Charlon moment of the game.
If you can't walk and chew gum, as long as you could dunk and slap someone in the face, you're in good shape. Look, in the face, taking punches, all those things. Again, the defense not perfect, and we were just talking about this as we're sitting there watching 3D talk, Candace, and it is, we remember the huge comeback against Golden State with this group other than Kawhi and how they're always fighting. There have been times where they've almost lost and sometimes have games like this where they had them at hand in the fourth quarter.
And that's the thing. Clippers finishing games. When they're behind, we know who the ball has to go to and who the play is going to be run through. It's Kawhi, it's Paul George, it's Lou Will. But when they're ahead, it just seems like they've squandered a number of leads at the end of this year, at the end of the season. And so I think that's something that can be of concern going into the playoffs, even though you have closers, being able to finish out games.
Grant, as a player, and a perfect guy to ask, you could, in big spots, score a lot of times in different ways, but because you were unselfish, you had that part of how do you know which one to turn on and when, right? LeBron, we talk about this all the time. Doncic had a 3. Not that he didn't pass up a shot for maybe a little bit of a better one, but tough seeing him not take that 3. How do you handle that and learn from that if you're Doncic?
Well, people may say that was the right play because he passed to an open guy, but time and score dictates to me whether something's right or wrong. You need a big shot. Your best player needs to step up, and he's wide open. And, you could say he had 9 assists. Maybe he's trying to get a triple-double. Who knows? But the bottom line is the right play would have been for him to be a little bit more selfish, take that shot he's hit all season, even last season, wide open. And that could have been a better outcome for the team. So, unselfish is okay, but in that moment, you got to be a little bit more selfish.
Now, even though this is the lead of our show tonight, I don't want to bury the lead. It's a big day for the Brotherhood coming up.
Hey.
And for the NBA, did we mention that? Wednesday night, he's here.
I'm so excited.
Zias, delivery and finish for Kawhi often, time and time again. Every time that he plays, as the Clippers have load managed a 27-10 end of the half that has all of us certainly thinking about them moving forward as we all wish the best and are thinking about Dwight Powell as well. We'll get to that in a second. Casey Stern, Grant Hill, Candace Parker, Isiah Thomas. Let's look at the dynamic duo as KP, after missing 10, returned Gio tonight to help out Batman, if you will, Luka to Don, and neither has really had or donned their best half. What have you seen so far as we look at the video of Luka?
Well, first of all, the Clippers have been fantastic on defense. Everything is a struggle offensively. Luka Doncic understands he's overplayed here. Obviously anticipates the pass and drives the closeout, gets to the basket. An easy opportunity and three-point opportunity there on that play. And then, of course, against great defense, get out in transition before the defense can get set. His eyes are up. He attacks the defender. Once again, gets to the rim. And on this last clip, he misses a three, but of course follows his shot. And again, able to attack the basket, get in there for the little floater. He's having a hard time in those isolation one-on-one plays, but in those situations where he can get to the basket in transition, those sort of broken plays, that's where he's been effective. But really, the Clippers have neutralized him, and it's been their sort of total team effort defensively, making him struggle out there from the floor.
And the Mavs ball movement, their three-point shooting, a big part of their offense this year. 5 of 19. Meanwhile, the other side, they're 8 for 18 in L.A. But before we get to Kawhi and company, Candace, we're watching Powell. And you can always tell athletes who have gone through injuries because you had to leave the room after you saw this happen, didn't need to wait for the news we feared and then got on the Achilles with Powell.
Well, you hate to see a player go down in that way. When there's no contact, usually it's not a good diagnosis. And obviously, I wish the best for him individually as a player, because I think a lot of people see these players get injured and you don't realize how long it takes to come back, and the recovery, the surgery, the rehab, and the hours you could have spent working on your game, you're spending trying to even get back on the court. So obviously, I mean, our thoughts and prayers are going out to him, and Dallas is going to miss him. I mean, he's a stretch forward that can shoot the basketball, versatile. He's been playing well for them this year.
Tough, a lot of second chance points, too. He's always one of those guys who's giving them extra opportunities. The opportunity, anytime we get to Zeke, watch Kawhi. It's like, and we sat there in the finals watching it last year, you marvel at just how much better he's gotten, but now we need to marvel at he gets even better than that somehow. And he, after a struggle early, really turned it on offensively down the stretch in the half.
He really did. I mean, he's got 14 points right now, but he's really not shooting the ball that well. He's 3 of 14 from the field. And this is what you admire about the great players in our league. They figure out ways to score and also ways to impact the game defensively, rebounding wise, and then they work themselves into the game. Get off to a slow start. Now let me see if I can get something easy. And by the way, let me slap Luka in the face while I dunk on him too. But those are the type of things that get you going. And, I think Dallas has done a relatively good job on him defensively. But then, Candace, you was talking about the Clippers in terms of potentially being a defensive juggernaut. And we look at what they've done to Dallas in the first half, 38% from the field, 26% from the three-point line. So defensively, the Clippers right now are in a very solid and good position.
Yeah, and when you get to the line, I mean, a coach's dream, right? Z, 18 of 19. Clippers from the line, 8 of 8 for Kawhi, who's finding other ways to score.
But you know what, Case?
Go ahead. No, what? Z?
When you 18 to 19 from the foul line, and that speaks to these numbers here defensively, 38%, 26%, because when you get to the foul line, what that gives you a chance to do is set your defense. Now I'm making the other team play 5 against 5 every single time. And this was the importance of getting to the foul line. And right now, in the league, we don't emphasize getting to the foul line enough, because when you get to the foul line, it gives you a chance to really set your defense. And if you can play 5-on-5 defensively against the 5 offensive players all the time, then that gives you a chance to be a great defensive team.
Yeah, and a lot of times, look, defense, we talked about it, Candace and G, what the Clippers are capable of, and we know not with Paul George back yet, but the fast break points. Look, you don't use Luka's unbelievable player. Fast is not something that's used in the description. They're not getting up and down the court as quickly, but the Clippers, every time you saw Kawhi on the rebounds, looking up Candace quickly, 18-6 on the fast break points, guys.
Well, that's what you try to do. I mean, 18-6, they're killing them getting up and down, but I think a lot of that is because they are neutralizing Luka and they are neutralizing Porzingis. You think about Dallas dependent on shooting the outside three. Those are long rebounds. You're able to get out in transition. You're able to get your offense started. You're able to get Kawhi some easy looks. I mean, that's what we expected from the Clippers coming into this year, is to use their defense to affect their offense.
Yeah, the other thing people don't talk about, you guys would certainly know, but you think about on the outside looking in, mentally, you saw Doncic's reaction to teammates when Powell goes down. Hey, got to get back in, and coaches can say whatever they want. That's not easy, Grant, clearly.
It's not easy when your guy goes down right there. Certainly a big blow, but hopefully they can regroup at halftime, come out better in the third quarter.
Like when you fell outside your house and then came back with the cast on. It was It's a great time.
It was in my
I'll
house.
show you the
In my
video.
house.
You fell in the house?
Yeah, on the stairs.
On the stairs. I was going to keep that part out.
No,
You were fighting off muggers. That's a